Hi, lovelies. How's everybody doing? I'm just coming in. Remember, I told you we are going to talk about some things? So I am sitting on my purple pillow and relaxing. It's hot as hell outside. And just going to bring in some energy. Hold on. Okay, got the chat. Okay. So, I'm hoping I can. Hold on a second. I don't want it to be bopping all over the place. Okay. All right. Want everything to stay stabilized. Okay, so I'm gonna start off with the first part because this part that I'm going to talk about doesn't pertain to everybody, only some people. Okay, so I want to talk about um, when you go out and you purchase um, human hair for a weave or you're putting that on your head. Now, I've been seeing some of it come up on the chat on the screen on YouTube, and some that came across the line, and I was like, oh yeah, yeah. But here's the thing that kind of stood out for me um, is the energy of where it's coming from. Now, I am a huge believer in just energy. You know, that's what the work is. You know, here at Be So Light, we talk about the energy. But one of the things that I really want to have emphasis about is that something I didn't even think about. Um, when the hair is being gathered through a ritual, okay, and most of the hair is coming from India, and they do a lot of ritual in healing for themselves, releasing things that don't serve, um, releasing um, if they've been ill or had a bad marriage or something bad happened. So they're releasing it. So they go and do this hair ceremony. Okay. So now the hair has been released. They got their heads shaved and everything. So now they released all their stuff. Okay. They released all their stuff in that hair. So who comes along and finds the hair? We do. Not taking into the fact that they released that hair for a reason. One, they released it during ceremony, but that hair is gathered up, and then that hair is presented where they start to cleanse it. They'll do things to it and bring that hair in. Okay, a lot of that hair is in that fashion. It comes in now. Here's the other part: if they gather the hair off of someone who had just recently passed away, so you're getting that hair. And I was really sitting and thinking about that. And a lot of times we take it for granted that we are doing this hair thing. We take it for granted. And we say, oh, well, I'm just going to go ahead and get this hair and I'm going to do my hair and blah, 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 blah. Okay. Where did it come from? Because when you really look at what people are getting rid of it because of they had an illness, they ran as bad luck, they were going through something traumatic. A lot of times in Native traditions, when you lose someone, someone has passed away, in tradition, you'll cut your hair to honor their journey or the honor that you are in deep sorrow, grief that this individual has dropped their robe and now they're on spirit side. They're with the ancestors. So there's that process. Now you're taking the hair of someone who have passed away, but they took that hair off of that individual who passed away. Okay. And now they're going to sell it. You don't know where that hair came from. But then some of you might put it on your head and be wondering why you're having headaches, be wondering why you don't feel right, be wondering why you feel more anxious or depressed for no reason. Then you take the hair off and you feel just fine. Okay. It's the same thing when it comes to synthetic hair. Who's making it? Where is it coming from? What kind of nylon or plastic stuff is going into it? Is it made with animal hair, yak hair? What are the combinations? You got to know at this day of time what you're putting on your head. Okay, it's very, very important because it's a frequency, it's an energy of whatever you're putting on your head. Even if you have your hair in natural form, and you are braiding it out, if you're doing the Brazil braid, I like to just use straight wool, 100% wool to braid into my hair. Especially if I'm doing it on hot days where it is really um, going to be hot. There's going to be a lot of UV ray, and I'm like, I don't want that, drying out my hair and everything. So I take care of it with the shea butter. I make my own shea butter and beeswax to protect the hair and keep the moisture in. And that recipe I make it myself. Everything's organic, it's clean, um, and it's healthy. It's good for the hair. So that is how I preserve and protect my hair as we're going through these heat and as we're going through a lot of this energy that's hitting the planet right now. And also, I like to wear my scarves, the cover the top of my head when there's a lot of it going on. But I used to be into my wigs. I used to do the whole weave thing, and I got tired of that. Got tired of that hurting. Used to do the whole thing with perming the hair. Don't do that no more. Haven't done that in over 10 years now. Ten, yeah, been 10 years. I've been chemical hair free. So, and I'm so glad because there's so much stuff that's come out on that now about relaxers and all of that. So I've been just like, wow, that's a good thing to really look into. So now the next part I want to talk about. We talked about the hair thing. I wanted to make sure you're aware of that because there's just too much of it's so easy to get caught up in that. It's so easy to say, "Oh, I'm gonna go get that and put it in my hair." This is not just for melanated women. This is also for the lunar women who go and get the kind of attach onto your hair, and it's the human hair. You just know. Now, I want to back you up to something. I want you to think about something. Okay, you know how I keep messing with my. There it is. Um, you know how the housewives, okay? You know how the housewives are. Now, Kim, there used to be, God, what housewife was that? I think it was the Housewives of Atlanta back in the day when I used to watch it. Now, Kim was lunar, and she would, hey, lovely, she showed the inside of her closet of all of her human hair wigs that were costing way over $500,000 of human hair wigs that she had. And she would put them on, and she would put those wigs on. They would just look so good on her. I mean, it looked like her hair. But now, when you really think about it, who makes those hairs? What are those? Where did it come from? the energy behind it. Is there no wonder why there was a lot of fights on the show? Not staged, but just stuff happening for no reason. Personality changes because of the wigs, because you're wearing somebody else's stuff. Somebody else's. Let's just jump into a little bit deeper. You're wearing somebody else's DNA on your head. You might well just go ahead and put the skin on because you're wearing their DNA on your head in your space. You're wearing somebody else's DNA. Somebody's tapped in, somebody's DNA, you're wearing it. There. Plain and simple now. Now you got the lesson on that. So now we're going to talk about the stuff that's going on energetically in the world. The sun just put out another energy. It just had another wave. Sun is doing it up. And I'm like, wow, the sun is like really hitting it. And we have things closing right and left, and we have recalls on all kind of food, and we are still in spiritual warfare. And this is not the time to drop the ball because you might be hearing other people say, oh, everything's coming to an end, everything. Yeah, but no, we're still in spiritual warfare. We still need to be vigilant. We still need to pay attention because there are others that are wanting to commit harm. Now, when we talk about the negative timelines, let's go back, talk about how they used to do these resets. And that word reset is just getting overused. Okay? Because why don't we call it what it really is? Stealing time. Okay? They steal the time. The planet will go through a reset of its own after thousands and thousands, so many years, 25,000 years, whatever the flow is supposed to be when the poles shift and do all their shifting. Okay? We're in that window now. Poles are going to be shifting. So they already started. This is why a lot of planes are having issues, as well as the amount of sun activity, gamma rays hitting the planet. So this is really going to be causing a lot of the ones that want to keep it the way it has been. It can't stay that way. Now we got all these different timelines, okay? On timelines, we have already won. Things are moving ahead. Then there's a timeline of where we are right now. Then there's a timeline of the negative timeline of where they want us to be. We got those timelines happening. This is why it's so important to really pay attention to your mindset, what you're thinking, how you're in the world being, but not of the world. Okay. Um, there's just a lot of convoluted beings that are causing, hey, darling, yes, there's a lot of things getting recalled. Um, the apple juice was doing a recall. Um, what they're doing, now here's the thing, okay? If things are getting contaminated, then you'll hear a report. Oh, this person went and bought this, and remember back in the day. Thank you, sir. Remember back in the day, when if you went out somewhere and you would eat something and you got sick from it and you called in the news report and the news would go out and report it on that restaurant or that place or that item and they would talk about it. Remember that? You don't see that now. You'll hear about it maybe on your phone, a recall or a blurb or something maybe happened in the in the mail, but you'll see it, but it doesn't get the recognition as much like it used to. Okay. So here's the thing. If we're hearing stuff about certain things getting recalled and they're taking it, a lot of times they're ambushing the food. Um, if it's not somebody doing it from the inside, okay. Usually that's how it happens. Somebody got very distraught, upset. They did something. So now the whole thing has to be recalled because that's going to affect the money of that product that's being sold. Okay. So a lot of times it's an inside job. Someone got ticked off. Um, but then again, there's the Lympharian ones that will cause the hardship and have things be contaminated, have things have issue. Okay. So not only do we have to watch out for that, but you also have to just start watching out, preparing, getting things set up because, like I said, we're still in spiritual warfare. And until we get past what is going to take place here on this United States soil, okay, it is imperative to be aware, okay, to have things prepared. You know, women, you need to make sure you have a very strong um, staff that is unbreakable, that you can use to self defense. Okay. Um, you remember John Wick, Columbiana, the movie. She beat the hell out of that guy with a toothbrush, knew how to hit certain places in the body with a toothbrush. Um, John Wick was all about a pencil, how to take somebody out with a pencil. When it comes time to have to be prepared, and if it ever gets to that, if anything weird, if you're in a, I'm talking about if you're in a weird place at the wrong time when things go down, you are going to need to know what to do. Okay. And just the smaller the object that you can use, a point, a pin, keeping pins, safety pin things on you, um, can be a split second of changing a scenario. Okay. So just being prepared. Um, it's all about this. This is not going to be one of those fear based things. That's not the intention. It's like just kind of talking about the elephant in the room because there's elephants in the room and people are just kind of like, oh, you know. Then when the shit hits the fan, are you gonna be you know, what's gonna be your response? Forget about all the money stuff because it really doesn't matter if you got Bitcoin, if you got all these other things. It takes electricity to run that, to have it saved up somewhere. If the grid goes down, hello, how's that going to be backed up? Oh, it might be backed up on a generator. What system? Who's going to have it? How big is that generator? Is it worldwide? I'm just saying. Think about it. Is it worldwide? So, this is where we come into the spiritual aspect of it. Now, depending on where your energy is and what timeline you are in, what timeline you are agreeing to be on. That's where you want to be. Okay. You want to be in your timeline, your high timeline. Your higher self is going to know exactly where it needs to put you. But most of the energy that's going to be interacting with each other is going to be the ones that are falling, falling energy. They're going to be battling with each other. Okay. So you want to be on that higher timeline and anchoring yourself. Now, if we hold the energy strong and saying, no, we're not going that way, just our thought alone travels faster than light, anchors it in. This is also another form of grid work. It's the thought, holding your thoughts, gridding that line into that net of what the timeline that we really want it to be on. Not having an energy that is distracting us, that's creating this energy that's making us feel like, oh, doom and gloom. That's what they want you to be. They want you to be in that. And they are really, really, really trying to anchor a negative timeline because this is how they've always done it. This is how they've stole their time. This is how they've done the negative reset back into the enslavement, back into the reprogramming, back to sleep you go. And then here we go again. We get so far. It's just like that movie. What was it? Day of Tomorrow? Wait a minute. Hold on. What was that movie? Day of Tomorrow. What was it? What was it? What was it? Not that one. That one says it all right there. What is that movie? Had Tom Cruise in it. It's the one where he's constantly he has to keep he has to the edge of tomorrow. There it is. Edge of Tomorrow. That's the perfect movie to talk about reset. Okay, the edge of tomorrow. In order for them to figure out how to overthrow the AI technology, he has to come. He lives, and then he has to pass away, and then come back, and then as they get a little closer, it's just constantly. He goes into this whole alive, and then he dies. He lives and dies. He goes in a whole flow in this movie. Okay, Edge of Tomorrow, until they finally figure out where the mother AI energy is to take it out. But they have to keep going through the whole thing. So they keep reliving the same looping energy, getting one step closer. And it's every single day they keep reliving it. That's exactly how they want it to be. Okay. They keep stealing the time. And when they do that, this is why we come back and we're having, oh, well, Planters Peanuts doesn't have a cane or doesn't have the eyeglasses. Oh, well, that's a Mandela effect. Well, yeah, because we changed timelines again, but they reset it. So everything doesn't look just right, perfect. Okay. Doesn't all look just right. Okay. There's always something off. Just like in the movie Matrix, when they were going up the stairs, he saw the black cat, and then he walks a little more and he sees the same black cat again. But it kind of glitched. And they go, what did you see? Okay. That's the same kind of energy of what they're doing, how they're trying to do this. Remember when I was talking about the contracts? There have been some contracts being renegotiated again because they're not following through on the true contracts, the galactic contracts. Yeah. So they're back into this whole fighting now. The level of what we see is this one level, but that bigger level that governs over the whole thing and acting it out, that's the one that they have to face. And that's the one that we have to keep staying in our due diligence with being on that right timeline. Okay. It's really that challenge to be present. Okay. So I just wanted to come on and share that about the hair thing, where we are right now, this month, and next month is going to be heavy energy. Okay. You're going to feel like you're dipping in and out of timelines. You probably already feel it now anyway. Um, and trying to maintain and stay in that higher one and how to do that. So, your knowledge is going to be the gift, just like in Divergent. Okay. They don't want people that are fully in their knowing of themselves to be helping or guiding others because they like to keep it separated. Because if you come together, what happens? They lose control. They literally lose the control, the power over the people, over the masses. So I've been just sitting with a lot of the things that I'm seeing, and I kind of weed it out. Is that going to be a false energy, a true energy, or is that something to set us up for what's coming? So they want to have, and when I say they, the dark ones want to have their war so bad. They want to have it so bad on this planet. But there are rules because the powers that are coming from the star systems, the older ancestors are here. And they've already been told they are not going to allow any kind of destructive weaponry on this planet. They're not going to let Mother go through that. So this is where it gets kind of where you're going to start seeing some things that are going to be like, okay, that's something that I wasn't expecting. This is the lifetime that we are going to see things that we've only seen in movies, and now we're seeing it face to face. Okay, and that takes you to the outlines of Wakanda. That takes you to the outlines of Avatar. There's a reason why those movies take so long to make because they are putting so much truth into it. Okay. So you really want to get a taste of what that timeline stealing is like. Watch The Edge of Tomorrow. That'll tell you right there. Even Time Cop. Time Cop. I've said that before. Time Cop does a good one with um, going back and through time and looking at things. So I'm just shuffling because I really want to look at. There's some activity for September 10th and 11th. Is this true for that military energy? Ooh, that just flew out. I'm going to just redo that. And I'm using my Heaven and Earth card set to do this. What do we got to be aware of on those days? How's it going to turn out? Yeah, it's all about choose wisely and domestic. Got to bring in domestic harmony. So choosing wisely, everyone's going to make a choice. Those that are involved. Domestic harmony, keeping the peace, and then it's going to show up finally on the earth timeline as success and growth. So the preparational energy, but I'm not feeling a lot of things that were going to happen got undone so it wouldn't take place. A lot of things wouldn't take place. Yeah, emotional withdrawal. So a lot of it got taken down, and it wasn't a good feeling for them. But there was a lot of, yeah, no, no, no. And that emotional withdrawal is like the they not knowing that. Hey, so yeah, this is crazy. So it's emotional withdrawal. Yeah, some things came undone because it was a spiritual career. So that means that was that connection, dedicated effort stayed in place. So you got that 8 and that 7, 8, and then the 8 on the end. So they closed that timeline out. So this is why I say on the negative timeline, if um if that woman gets in, that's not good. Because then that means we went backwards and we didn't go forward. Okay. I don't care who's on here saying whatever. That's the energy and that's the pit in my belly. Means, I mean, all you have to do is connect the dots right now. Look at how everything is right now. It's going to be 10 times worse. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. So it is very important that we hold our space and hold our medicine strong. Okay. And holding the medicine strong means really taking care of your space, really stepping into it. When things are out of sync, clean it up, get it back in sync. Um, really staying in that space of, today I don't feel like I need to be out there running around. I need to stay close to home, paying attention to that. Today would be a good day. I'm going to go get some stock up stuff that I want and put that away. Okay. I'm going to make some prep type of things, make sure my medicine bundles of caring for the body or whatever it is put together, ready to go. My batteries, my flashlights, my candles. Okay. Just making sure everything's lined up, ready to go. Um, for me, I'm all about in that space of wanting to get out of California, needing to move. So, but being very cautious of where I move to, because there are other places that are being infiltrated, negative timelines crossing there, and it's trying to present something. And then here's the thing, too, really paying attention to what's authentic and what's not. Okay. And once again, it comes back to that being able to tell the difference between a truth and a lie. That's the number one thing that's going to really govern how you see things. Now, here's the thing. Yes, true authenticity. As we keep moving up, as soon as I was getting ready to say it, got this burst of light just came in the room. Y'all didn't even let me finish saying what I'm going to say. I was just getting ready to say it. It just went boom. I was like, whoa. Okay. As soon as we keep moving up in the light of ourselves and we keep anchoring that light in, you get stronger and stronger. You start seeing beyond this first layer. All right. And then as you get stronger, you start to see beyond that second layer. And you start feeling when there's beings around that are mimicking the space, and you start to see them. So there are some beings that are really going to come here and they're going to have a full on war fight with the other ones here that have been here. Oh, yeah, that's coming. I've been feeling that one. So this is where you pay attention, grid light workers, you pay attention to those areas where there was a how do I put this? A sudden hole that appeared in the ground. Okay. Like when you get those big pit holes that just come in a town or a city somewhere and it opens up and swallows up those not cave holes, but those pit holes. Those what's the word I'm looking for? There's a name for it. What is that word? They're big pits. They just open up randomly due to plate shifts. Okay, the plate shifting. So that's why in your grid work, you want to make sure you know where are those volcanoes are being activated and the earthquakes and the alignments of that. Sinkholes, thank you. So those sinkholes, there's a lot of them happening. Okay, those sinkholes. Um, I'm asking what else needs to be said. This is where staying out of fear is going to be, you have to be in your mastery and see it for what it is. Okay. And that's how we will shift things to the higher. It's just this game that they play. Okay. So I really wanted to just kind of bring this in where you could kind of just sit and be with yourself on this. And if you've been having experiences of things shifting and you're not sure what you're feeling, and so that you're not sitting back and feeling a lot of fear, just kind of be aware of timelines. This is the best way I'm going to sum this up, of timelines that are not quite gone yet. They're still hanging on as the new ones are coming in, taking the place of that. Okay. Because there are new negotiations going on, um, to see how this is all going to unfold. These next 2 months is critical. Okay. Very, very intense. You're going to feel this. But your body's being prepared in how you will perceive it and how you will deal with it. And the knowingness is being prepared. Okay. Let's just put it that way. So, what navigation? What negotiation? Oh, what negotiation? It's okay. Back in the day, eons and eons, there were negative beings that had the rights to come and do experiments on us. Okay, that negotiation is coming to an end because we're moving into the Aquarius time. We're moving into that. We're not quite there yet. We're moving in that. So they had all this time to go and do whatever they want, flip the time on us, do whatever they want, you know, keep us in this enslaved system. Okay. Now, because it's flipping, and don't forget, this was basically to keep the divine feminine energy down because this was a very divine feminine planet until it got taken over. Okay. So now, since this divine feminine energy is rising again, one of the trickeries they have done is to make people feel uncomfortable with being a male or female. Throw confusion in there. Oh, you don't have to feel like you're a guy. You can put on a dress and you can be like that. To throw confusion in, because if they can throw that in, you won't know where your power lies in being divine masculine or being divine feminine. Okay. So they'll flip it to have a energy that wasn't originally born as a female to pretend like it's a female. Okay. But it wasn't innately born as one. So this is the flipping that's going on. This is why we're seeing so much of this. This is why it's coming up and it's really present. It's the flipping to throw confusion in. If you confuse a person in their temple of who they are, they emanate confusion energy. Rather they know it or not. If they sit back and say, "Oh yeah, I just never felt like." Oh, okay. Since when? When did that happen? Did that take place in the womb, or did that take place after a molestation or a rape took place on you? Because that is about. I honestly can say 50 to 60% of it is what I have seen with people who struggle in that of what has happened. Somebody infiltrated their space. Okay. So that's where the healing never got taken care of. They didn't feel safe no more. So they had to go the opposite direction. 70 to 80. There you go. Okay. That's the flipping. So if you can throw that confusion in, then what happens? Your true ones are trying to anchor as much as they can, but the imitation ones can't do it. They can't anchor because they're not the real ones. Hence the word. As the energy keeps going up, there's going to be a divine intervention. Okay. Things are going to get looking really kind of cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, probably for Frankenberry and all the other stuff coming down the pike. But there is going to be that divine intervention that's going to happen. And it's going to be like, whoop, not going to happen. This is why when I was getting that info, when I first got that info from the sunbeams, and when I talked about those codes, I said, yeah, we set these codes and we send them out so that mother receives them. and then it goes from there. It's almost like, think about this. You put a code into your computer. You send a code, right? You want your computer to what? Run Canva. Okay. It picks up, goes in the app. Okay. Canva app is activated. Okay. Canva is Earth. Okay. Because you sent the code to activate it. Okay. It's the same thing here. Good. I can't wait. I'm tired of the foolishness. Yes. So they're the beings that are coming that are already here. They're having negotiations. So this is why I tell you guys, pay attention when all of a sudden you go from a nice, beautiful day and there's nothing going on in the sky, and all of a sudden it becomes dark and it becomes clouds. Clouds come in, but it's not raining. But then all of a sudden the temperature drops. Because you see all kind of shadows in the sky, but you don't know what's going on above you. And then it hails. The hailing shows up. That's the starship in place. They got things to talk about. Okay. California's been busy. Not any hailing storms, not recent. But that last rain that we had a couple weeks ago did bring snow up in Tahoe area. How weird is that? Wasn't even cold enough for snow. So we're almost there. From what I was told by with the sunbeams, we're at 80% of light on this planet. Okay. So there's just some things that needed to kind of be aware. It's really important to pay attention to your body if you have a lot of, you know, artificial things going on. If you're someone that's constantly getting stuff in your face and doing all kind of weird things, and you're gonna go, I gotta look, you know, so good, and you're getting all these surgeries done on yourself to get that. So this is where you got to be aware what you're doing, because the energy that's coming in is a divine energy, and anything that is not divine is synthetic, that does not have a soul, is going bye bye. It's going. If it's been causing a lot of harm to any kind of life on this planet, it's going bye bye. If it has a high amount of karmic energy where it has done the unforgivable things to other beings on this planet and has not made any type of healing to correct that, it's going bye bye. That frequency is going to be seeking it out and get rid of it. Because in order to surpass the energy, it's just like in the movie Edge of Tomorrow. I can't stress it enough. You have to get to that place where the looping keeps happening, and then you got to push past that loop and do that change right there. You got to trick it and you got to move past it so that it will not have a chance to reset itself for the negative timeline. That's how this is. Okay. So that's the only way I can really explain this. In the next two, let's take a look. Let's take a look at the message for this month and next month. I'm going to run a 4-card look at it. I'm going to do it in tiers. Okay. Energy for this month and by the end of this month. Okay. I like doing my reads on it because it likes to shock the crap out of me. And then for next month, in October, I can't believe the first part of October, and then the last part of October. Okay. That is the heaven realm message. The bridge between is going to be for here. Okay. And this is why it's really important to pay attention to your dreams, because you will get messages in your dreams. Now, here, I was asked one time before, do you think that we're sitting in a pod and that we're 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 tapped in? And I said no. But here's my second take on that. Some of you might be in a pod, tapped in, and some of us are not. It depends what timeline you're on. Okay, let's take a look. So we're in our September. We got that new beginnings in the second part of the month. That's coming towards the end of the month. We got mental conflict. The first part of October, we have a 1, which is interesting because the 10 represents that a new beginning energy. Oh my God, you guys forgot another 1. And then we have the passion ignite, like there's light coming in. And then on this last part of October is triumph to success. Okay, I'm going to show you the cards. Hold on, I'm laying it out. We got the bridge, surrender. We have a parenting energy to be paired up. We have a personal growth. And we have a compassion. We got 9-9. Last part, how it all shows up on the earth timeline is going to be the flow. Towards the end of the month, spread your wings. First part of October, solar plexus. Last part is going to be sadness and isolation. Okay, so now we're going to take a look. So here's the first part where we are right now. Looking at this new beginning, setting at a 0. But we're not in that beginning part. We want to start a new beginning. Look how she's stepping here. See what she's stepping on? See that? Earth. Okay. Then in the last part of this month, we're going to have this mental conflict. But look at the 2. It's going to be about relations, relating. So we're going to have mental conflict. Okay. What is the bridge to that beginning part is that surrendering. There's going to be some type of surrendering because it's between this. There's a surrender. Okay. So that surrendering energy, that makes that 10. You got that 9 right in front of it. It's going to end something, but then you got the 1 right after. What's it going to begin? Okay. So we got a 0 and that. So now the parenting is still a 9 energy, 63. Still a 9. So we got the 6, which is about balance and home. And then we got the 3, which is the Trinity. But what are we parenting? What are we pairing up? Because that's about that mental conflict. How it all shows up, it's going to be in that flow. But look, you got 0. You got the 10. And then you got the flow, a 10. So there's this energy. There's going to be this surrender. We got to surrender it. Okay. So now the spread your wings. Now, this is so crazy. You have the mental conflict, that's a 2. Then you have that 9 energy in the middle. But guess what? You got a 2 again on the end. You see the duality, the merging, spread your wings? Crazy. So now we look into October. We got passion and ignite. Okay, that's the first part of October. Then the bridge to that is going to be spirit. We got that 7. This could be the intervention, personal growth. And then we got solar plexus. What hits the solar plexus? Emotions. But you got that 3, that trinity. But we got solar plexus. So we're looking at stomach, we're looking at emotions. The ending part towards October is going to be, it's a triumph. It's got that 1. It's got the 9-9. There's that 9-9. And then it goes into this 3, sadness and isolation. So the sadness and isolation, when you see this person here, and then they're withdrawn here, this could be the representation of all of this, the battle, because the sword's up. 9-9 on both sides. And maybe just dealing with what has to be. Okay, the sadness and loss. So let's look at that. What is this sadness, isolation? What is the highest message for that? This is an outcome of what is happening with the triumph. The triumph, success, and compassion. What is that about? There's that too. Those that are refusing to see. So this refusing to see. Thank you. Got hit in my stomach just now. This is for the ones that just don't like the way it's going to be because they were a part of the agenda to reset us back. And they're refusing to see it because of this last part of October. Because you got the 9 on both sides. Done deal. It's not going, this is where they're going to be feeling. This is not about us. This is them. Thank you. Because they're refusing to see. There you go. So we just have to keep moving along and really stay true to the self. Have your medicine in order. One thing I can honestly say when you do reads, and it's going to tell you what you don't want to hear. And that's how you know you're on the truth of that. But these 2 cards, that sad and isolation, refusing to see, yeah. The internet looks like a guy from Ex-Mom in a wheelchair is able to shut down his gifts. Who shut down their gifts? Oh, shut down their gifts. Oh, wait. What? The helmet looks like the guy. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Refusing to see. This is, you know what? This is the ones that don't want to see a more positive outline. more positive time outline. And something I was really looking at, because I was just in that, I was asking all these questions, and I said, okay, so I want to know something. So I was watching the movie Total Recall, the newer one, okay, with Colin Farrell in it, and Jessica Alba, I think is in that one, or Jessica Bell. I think it's Jessica Bell. Um, so when I was watching that, I noticed something, and it was the same thing. And I said, "This is programming." They had it where this long tube would go all the way through the city, but when you watch the first part of the movie, I think it's on Tubi, free. The beginning part, you see how they're talking about um, the only countries that are interacting with each other was It was the Federal British Federation, and I forgot what the other one. But this line, this train thing that they take to go from one end of the planet to the other end, that falls through it, still was enslaving people. Still was an enslavement, and that they're working the system to create the synthetic police force. So, what country do you know is ahead of us on creating those synthetic police force? Take a look at that movie. You'll see it right there. How they are really being policed by the synthetic policemen. Okay, and they have a human officer commander that helps to keep things moving. Okay, so that one, when you watch that movie plays that energy on your mindset also, because it's like, oh, I'm looking at this, and hold on one second. Hold, please. Oh my gosh. It's that editing of there. Okay. Okay. Talk to you later. All right. So there's going to be an interference somewhere. There's too many ones, too many twos, too many zeros, and some threes. Two threes, though. But lots of twos and ones. So those ones are new beginnings. Those twos are about relationship, unity, also about balance. So one of the things I liked about when I was asking questions, I'm going to finish that thought. I asked questions about Beyond the Wall. And I said, so I want to ask something. And they said, what? I said, so is the Beyond the Wall civilization, is that like, that's all the higher ones? That's, you know, part of ourselves and timeline that's higher. But the part of us of right now is over here, trapped over here. And you are considered the higher world. I said, yes, that is correct. I said, okay. So then when I was watching the movie Total Recall, got a clear picture. Remember how I told you that the message was we were right in the middle? We're in the middle. And I saw in the movie, there's this part where they're being chased. Okay. They're in all the high technology up above. They're on the magnet part. Okay. Their cars run on these lines, magnet, floating up above. When he had to disengage that and then drop down to get away from them, get away from the police chasing, they dropped from that higher realm into the middle realm, to that, which was our timeline. And here comes this high tech vehicle that drops down on everyday everyday man's vehicle and shocks them all because they're like, wait, they came out of the sky. And they're looking at the vehicle and they're like, whoa, what is this? Because that's the upper realm of all the technology that kept going. That was good. And then they come down here and it's all blowing our minds because we're not used to seeing that because we got old shit where they keep us behind. Why they play with the new stuff. And they're up in that new stuff. Okay. So take a look at that. You'll see what I'm talking about. But I asked about that because I really wanted to know how is it that some people just disappear? And a lot of times when people just disappear, they don't look for them anymore. They just noted as they're just gone. They don't find any body or anything like that. They're just gone. They just disappeared. Maybe they disappeared because they found a portal and they went beyond this physical realm here. They went there. And now they're over there and they can't get back over here until they figure out how they got over there and reverse it to get back over here, if they so choose to do that. Okay. But yeah, there's going to be, how do I say this? There's going to be I'm hearing the word, a collision of time, a collision in time and space, where everything merges all at once and everybody gets to see everybody at the same time, wherever they are, above, right here, side. It's kind of like someone's going to lift that veil and it's going to go, ta-da! And everyone's going to be like, whoa, 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 whoa. This is not the Starbucks that I'm used to. It's going to happen just like that. And I'm not talking about in a couple of years. I'm talking about like in the next few months. It's going to happen just like that. I'm telling you one thing. This year is going to go out with an energetic bang. It's going to be so mind blowing. When we look at the word reset, and when they say reset, what part is being reset? Is it us? Because the planet's already resetting herself. She's already getting rid of stuff that she doesn't want. So, how are we being reset? Think about that. How are we being reset? Are you being reset here? 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 Body? How are you being reset? What is it? How are you being reset? How are we being reset? Take the money out of it. Don't even think about the money because that was going to change regardless. But how I mind, hmm mind. Look at everything. Connect the dots. How are you being reset? And a lot of the clues are in the movies, you guys. Especially, like I said, Edge of Tomorrow. Here's a little secret I want to share with you. You know when they put the movies out, those of you that like to watch your movies and stuff on Pluto, if you have a subscription to movie thing, if you have Tubi, Peacock, but Tubi and Pluto, pay attention to those two because they put those for free for a reason, right? It's hidden message. Look at the theme of what they are talking about for the month. That's info right there. Because whatever the theme is that they're setting up, you might see all of a sudden they put all the alien movies on there. Or maybe they'll do all the vampire movies. Oh, maybe they'll get Alien and Predator all on there. Oh, but they got a little bit, they got where there's a lot of sci fi, like people seeing different things. What's the theme? Look at the theme. And it's usually the main theme of it is going to be in that first part when they do recently added. Look at that section and then what is leaving. Look at the first 2 to 3 rows. That right there will tell you the theme. And then you'll see that theme energy coming up in the reality. It'll be like, whoa, it'll be glimpse, little stuff that comes up. I didn't really pay attention to that. Then all of a sudden I started noticing something. And I said, oh, wait a minute. Hold on a second. I just gotta remember this game down here. Okay. It's a game. So just saying, pay attention to that. But do take the time to look at those movies that I was talking about. Because it will give you um, some heads up. And you'll be like, oh, wait a minute, that's happening right now. Oh my. Yeah, take a look at that. What's happening right now? All right, lovelies. I just wanted to come on and put a little bit of that info out there and really have people pay attention to that. Please, please, please stay hydrated. Make sure you're drinking coconut water, getting your electrolytes in. Um, People are just not feeling so good because of the heat. And please keep an eye on your animals and the elders that are a little bit more susceptible to the heat. Okay. Any questions before I depart from here and see you all tomorrow for day 5? Is everybody good? If it just sounded like I did a collage, that's what it was, a collage of some info. And that info was solely for some of you that were having some mind thoughts. Wait, I'm tired of the foolishness. Yes, I've heard that they're using dreams to get people scared, showing end times a nightmare. Yeah, that part with your dreams. Remember what I said yesterday? When your dreams and stuff don't feel right, you go back in and you change it. You make it the way you want. I don't care. Take yourself right back in there and say, no, I'm going to change it. Put it the way you want to put it. If that means you imagine what you want it to look like, using that imaginational energy, that's how you reset that. Okay, that's interesting. Mine, yes, I am good. Okay. All right. Cool. All right. This one will be on a low C because they won't run it. It'll be on a low C algorithm. But this was mainly just for those of you to kind of like take a look see and kind of pay attention. All right. All right. I will keep you posted on what we are doing for tomorrow for sure. I will see you tomorrow. I hope all of you enjoyed your day today and be good to yourself. And just pay attention. Remember this one rule. What is their intention to get your attention? We have to stand in the medicine of who we are now. There is no more prepping, practicing. No, this is it. This is it. Much love to you too, okay? So, all right, I got to stop in on my practitioners group and talk to them about some new medicine things coming up. And I hope all of you will be good to yourselves. Yeah, it's game time. It's game time. And how do we put it? We're not falling for the banana in the tailpipe anymore. We're not doing that. All right, lovely. I don't know where I'm getting that from. I ate enough food. I'm not dehydrated. Trust me. All right. Be good to yourself. I'll talk to all of you tomorrow. Be so light. Oh, have a good one. Bye. Not falling for it.